I think really just making the adjustment. They had a flow going. We were stagnant offensively. And what they do a good job. It looks like a 2-3, a 3-2 kind of a matchup. But more importantly, we didn't have a presence around the rim to be able to post up bodies. Whether you score on the ball or not, we had to have somebody posting those big guys up because those big guys are roaming freely to the corners. So we just made the adjustment, making our bigs post up, adjusted a couple things, but then in transition to be able to attack. We can't allow those guys to set up in their half court, to move the ball offensively on the offensive end, then all of a sudden come on the defensive end, set up their offense, and we get stagnant. We got to be aggressive and attack the rim, make plays, because again, they're used to 50-point games. So we got to try to speed this thing up, and we made plays and made shots.
Coach, sometimes as a coach, you feel these euphoric moments when the players are responding on the basketball court. You guys were down 8. You knew that they had to get it done. They went on an 18-0 run. How did you feel? You're a former player. You've been a coach for a long time. How does that make you feel to see your guys articulate what you want?
Well, again, the biggest thing we talked about, we had to have a presence to be able to post up. And the good and the bad about that, David is one of the best at flashing against the zone, but he's also our best low post player. When David's flashing, if Christian's not in the game, then we have 4 perimeter guys, so nobody's flashing to the rim or posting when Dave flashed to get that layup. Then Christian, obviously, it really helped when he was able to play around the rim. Now, he might not have scored a lot, but he held that big guy down, so now your corner guys can get threes and you can move the ball. So I thought that was the biggest key. But I saw that now it's just a matter of doing it, and they did it.
Considering the timing of this win, the losing streak, some other factors in play, how important was it to have a good showing today?
Well, it wasn't necessarily showing. You always want to get a win. I really don't care if it's ugly if you win it, for me, because I think in conference play, teams understand what you're trying to do. You're not presenting anything new, so it's just a matter of finding ways to get a win. The toughest part about senior night is always a very emotional time. So you don't want to get off, you're down 10 or 15 early because of the emotions behind the game. So we just wanted to keep this thing aside. And I thought we did a good lead, got a good lead, and we let it slip. But again, for me, I don't care how you win as long as you win it. Yeah, but we defended. So I like the pretty when we defended. So if you're doing that, now you give yourself a chance. But you're not defending. We weren't defending in spurts, and they got up, 8 points. That's the result. So now if you're defending and you're scoring, then I like that part.
How much did the defense lead to your transition? It seemed like all of a sudden your offense flowed when you guys had transition.
Well, the thing about as we watch film, there's probably 70% of the times that we do a good job defending, especially in the last 2 games, but then we give up an offensive rebound, and then it breaks. And now it was a case of if we're not scoring, and if you're getting stops, that's fine. But if you're not scoring and you're giving up, you do a great job defending for 27 seconds, then you give an offensive rebound, they score the ball, it takes the air out of you. But I thought tonight we did a good job of keeping them off the glass and forcing them to make plays, one-on-one plays, and I felt like we had an advantage to not allow them to flow into the offense and run their sets. And just made plays, got it off the glass and ran in transition, and we were productive.
Cuonzo, once they shifted out of the zone and went man-to-man, you guys were really attacking on the dribble, so like Sam especially was really effective. Was that something that you were encouraging?
I just think that we have guys that can make shots. When Jabari and Jordan locked in making shots, it doesn't matter if it's a man or a zone. In a man, we got to find ways to get them the ball. Zone, they have to move to get open and make shots. Now, in the man, again, the presence around the rim allow you to get the other stuff on the perimeter. So if you're not scoring, there was one point we had 5 guys above the free throw line. That's hard to play as a team with that type of zone presence, and you got guys that great steal guys, anticipation guys and that made it hard. But once we got guys down around the rim, I thought we'd be better. And then when 14 went out of the game, they had 2 big guys that were used to playing on the perimeter and not really around the rim. And we wanted Dave just to have a presence down there.
Can you talk about what David's meant to the team this year?
Well, he's obviously meant a great deal to this university, but I think for me, a great help to allow me to do my job, and I've said it before, because when you take over a program, it's always hard, especially a guy like him who's a senior. You kind of set in your ways. You understand the lay of the land. I know the style, I know the system, I know the coach, I know the staff. Then all of a sudden there's a change, especially when you're not from these neck of the woods. That can be tough for a young guy. But I thought he did a great job really embracing me and our staff and allowing us to do our job. And when you have seniors that understand this is what we need to do in order for us to be successful, then it helps. And now all of a sudden you develop and you create a culture and it becomes a way of life. And I thought he did a great job with that.
What's it going to be like trying to fill the shoes?
I've never really been a guy to get consumed with seniors and trying to fill their shoes. I mean, they're seniors. They're moving on. It's not a case of a guy that, you know, all of a sudden you expect him to be a role guy, and all of a sudden he has a great year, he's leaving, going to the NBA draft. That's different. But when singers are singers, I've always been the guy, I love when singers leave because I was the type of guy as a singer, I was ready to go because I felt like I gave everything I had, and it was time to move on. And you never replace guys because whether they score the ball or not, but his makeup as a young man, you can never replace what he brings to this university, and it's invaluable because his character, his integrity, his willingness to go the extra mile. He's helped Kings in a tremendous way. He doesn't have an ego, and those are guys you always want to be around.